guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're in sunny Clearwater, Florida at Loki Kia, and guess what? I have that compact SUV many of you have been waiting for. This is it. This is the 2023 Kia Sportage, totally redesigned, and on top of that, we have the X-Line trim. But before we get into this new redesigned crossover SUV that's compact in its class size, let's talk about what's going on here. Kia. They're really wanting to make a statement. And the statement is, better watch out, here we come. Now, we can't talk enough about the success of the Telluride. And what Kia is really working hard to do is kind of create lightning in a bottle again, catch lightning in a bottle once again with this new Sportage. Now, it's been a while since the Sportage has received a redesign, and it's coming on the heels of the Sorento, which has been a pretty good success. Obviously, the new introduction of the Seltos. But the Sportage, in its compact class size, is actually now trying to break the barrier between compact and midsize. This Sportage is actually longer than the previous one. It's got a wider wheelbase, which means the space between the front wheels and the rear wheels is stretched. Plus, that means that you're going to get class-leading passenger and cargo volume. The compact class has a lot of heavy hitters. Obviously, the CR-V. You could talk about the sister brand, the Hyundai Tucson, and Mazda CX-5. And then at the end of the day, nobody could forget the Toyota RAV4 and the Nissan Rogue. So what I want to find out is, I really want to focus on two different vehicles that go up against this one that are top sellers for their brands, the Mazda CX-5 and the Toyota RAV4. So let's go ahead, let's find out, what does this new Sportage, especially X-Line trim? Everybody right now is starting off with the X Pro. We got the X-Line. I think that might be the better way to go. So let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out, is it better than the CX-5 and the RAV4 when it comes to that compact SUV utility? Let's find out. Right off the bat, you would be crazy to not know that this is redesigned, because if you compare this to the outgoing one, totally different. You could see the contemporary futuristic style, how they've taken the LED boomerang daytime running lamp and really extended it far into the front fender area. You got your standard LED lighting. One thing that I'm gonna have to give a half zonk to is you still got your old-fashioned light bulb in there for your turn signals. It would be nice if this whole thing was LED, at least on the X-Line trim. Now, when you're working your way down, we do have what looks like it was gonna be a functional corner air curtain. It is not, it is fake. So that is gonna receive a little bit of a zonk. Not too large, but I'm really curious why they did not make this a corner air curtain, because it's all there. You just gotta open it up and let it rip. Now, coming across that tiger nose grille, that new philosophy in their signature design. This is something that if you look at any of their models, even the Kia EV6, which is of course full electric, you get that tiger nose grille. I like the new interpretation. Some of this flat gray finish blends in nicely with the gloss black. Really nice, wide and open in this middle section. We drop down, you get a little bit more flat silver, open air in this flat black area, and then you'll see that simulated skid plate style that they have on the lower end that usually you see on a lot of SUVs. Now, when we get up onto that low slung hood, I love the way the body line, it drips right into that tiger nose grille area. The updated Kia badge has never looked better. And then everything else on the hood is super clean. You're just gonna have this nice rise in the hood itself that just flows like seamlessly into the A-pillars. Now, as we come around the bend, lots of different wheels and tires to go with. This X-Line, you're actually gonna get some really nice stuff. This is a 19-inch wheel, machine aluminum with the gloss black. You got your updated Kia badge there. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this? 235 on the width, 55 series sidewall. You could get this all-wheel drive. You could also get this front-wheel drive, just like the CX-5, just like the RAV4. Now, when we're looking at the styling, I think this compares a little bit more to the RAV4, just with its angular looks. The CX-5 really is a kind of classy, timeless shape with its smooth body lines, but definitely something different. And I like the way they have lots of different wheel options going from 18-inch, 17-inch, and definitely these nice 19-inch wheels. Flat black, real thin around the fender openings. If you know, on the CX-5, you now could get that painted or gloss black depending on what trim you get. As we go down the side on our X-Line trim, you're gonna get gloss black on the mirror caps. I really like the way they shaped them. Made this nice flat side with your turn signals, color matched on the door handles. On the lower side, you're gonna get that combination of the flat black and that flat silver gray finish that goes nicely with the grille. So all of this is really making sense, and I'm glad that they didn't just leave it flat black. You get these raised roof rails with a panoramic sunroof, which we'll show you more when we get to the interior, but I like the way they're nice and raised, gloss black and finish to blend in nicely with what the window trim brings. And like I was saying, window trim, gloss black as well. Look at the way they work that rear quarter window. And the body lines, you have a line here in the middle of the door, but then you have a line that actually goes with the curve into the rear fender. Something that Kia is using more and more is this decorative trim, this diamond style decorative trim on their rear pillar. It first showed up on the Carnival. Now you can see it on a lot of their models like the Sorento and this new Sportage. The rear fender looks great. I love the way it extends off the door. It reminds me of the Pathfinder, the bigger Nissan Pathfinder with the way they do that. And then coming around to the back, thank you, Kia. Look at this. I can almost like kiss this section. I'm not, because that would just be weird, but no rear wiper sticking out. It's tucked underneath that nice low slung roof spoiler. CX-5's got a wiper. RAV4's got a wiper. The only other competitor that doesn't have a rear wiper showing is the Tucson. But look at how nicely that just cleans everything up. They did a great job on their LED taillights, especially with the design inside the actual housing itself. We got our Sportage badge, our Kia badge, and then a very, very small X-Line. Nothing too gaudy, but just something to let you know that you went a little above and beyond. Going all the way down to the ground level, you'll see the flat black. Tell me what you think about this design. It's like I want to zonk it because it looks like some kind of fake vent, but it also looks like a design. Let me know if you would zonk this lower area, but I do like the flat black in the center. Everything else is nice and clean. Let's pop the hood though and see what's powering our new Sportage. All right guys, we got the hood popped. Did you have a prop rod? I do like the way it's all the way out of the way. Now when you're looking at the engines, I think the nice thing is it's straight up simple. There's only one engine option available right now. Now in the future, there will be a hybrid and plug-in hybrid, but this is the offering no matter what trim you go with as of the 2022 model year here in the United States. It's a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated inline four. So you're looking at 187 horsepower, 178 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, if we're comparing that to the RAV4 and the CX-5, CX-5 has 187 horsepower. The RAV4 has a little bit more, right around 200 horsepower. Both of them have torque converter conventional transmissions like this one. CX-5 has a 6-speed, RAV4 has an 8-speed, and so does our Kia Sportage. Now, if you're wondering, well, what about MPGs, Joe? You're looking at 25 in the city, 32 on the highway. You can tow when properly equipped up to 2,500 pounds. The vehicle weighs 3,543 pounds, and you got about 8.3 inches of ground clearance. And like I said, the vehicle is a little over 7 inches longer than your outgoing Sportage. I do like the tasteful engine cover. Everything else is straightforward, but you know what? Let's get to that interior and see what the new Sportage brings to the table. All right, guys, we're inside this 2023 Kia Sportage tow redesign. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been looking at the CX-5 and the RAV4. I narrowed it down. Neither of them have CVTs, so I'm glad that the Sportage doesn't have a CVT, but of course, the bottom line important thing to me and my family is price. How much is it? So this X-Line trim, which first of all, there are a cornucopia of different trims for the Sportage for 2023. It's kind of crazy. This one though, has a lot of features and some nice touches. The X-Line trim, how much is it? MSRP, $33,500. Let's see how it stacks up to the competition. To the door panels. Love the nice clean style. You'll notice that on the X-Line, you're gonna get that open pore wood, no shiny veneer finish on it. Just watch out you don't get a splinter. Look at the way they styled the door handle. Really well done, and you can see the attention to detail. Now, there is a bunch of gloss black that I am gonna have to zonk that is around the switchgear there on the armrest. But other than that, clean style, soft armrest with some classy stitching on the side. Door pocket is a little on the tight side. So I'm thinking maybe 3 tacos from Taco Bell and a bottle of Shasta to wash it down. Going from the door panel to the dash, soft touch material, the simulated stitching. I love the way they have designed the AC vents and what you're looking at, that wood finish. And then guess what? What do we got? We got 2 massive screens. You're not gonna get 1, but 2 10.25-inch screens. This is your home screen, and it has all of the features that you think that you want, showing you all that information. But then look, as soon as you touch it, there's your navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Let me show you a couple cool things. First of all, if you have kids, they got a full-on quiet mode. But another thing that's nice is you go into setup, especially vehicle setup. And what I really think is smart is you could go into convenience options. Let's say you don't have any kids, or you're not one of those parents that actually forgets their kids in the rear seat. You could actually shut it off so that you don't get that annoying chime every time you shut off the vehicle, or you can leave it on. I guess better safe than sorry. You could even go into your driver assistance warnings. Very simple to do. Driver attention warning. You could turn on and turn off things all by the press of the screen. And I think that that is super smart to keep it that simple and clean. Throw it in reverse. There's our backup camera. Pretty good resolution. I wish it took up more of the room, but then you got that sensing technology at the rear for when you're backing up. Put it right back in the park, and there we are. Look at how they've done the AC controls. It's actually a touch screen built in, so I could actually go and just adjust your blower fan speed. I could actually bring up different ways of adjusting my infotainment system right here, all by the press of a button. Of course, you're gonna get dual climate with the digital readout. And then as we drop down, you do have a 12-volt, USB-A, USB-C, and a wireless charging pad. So they got you covered there. This is not only gonna fly an F-14 Tomcat, but this is how you're gonna shift with that 8-speed automatic. You got your start-stop button at the front. Just a little bit of gloss black. Now, there are some dead buttons here. If you don't want these to be dead, then you're gonna have to pay a little bit more. We got 3 stages of heated seats. You could get 3 stages of ventilated seats, just not on the X-Line trim. We got our dry mode selector knob, easy to get to. 2 cup holders, and one of my favorite parts is this. Watch this. Hocus pocus, alakazam. You could actually bring out the cup holders, make them large, make them small, or just make them disappear. 1, 2, 3. Here's your key fob. You got remote start with the new Kia badge. I like the buttons, nicely pressed. There's tons of room in this little area. If you don't put drinks, you could put all sorts of protein bars for your next workout. Semi-soft to not really soft on the armrest, but you lift it up, look at that. You could easily put, I would say, 4 bottles of different vitamins that you take to get really, built at the gym. You wanna get swole, you can keep 4 of those eugenics bottles in there so you can get nice and strong. Seats, you got that simulated leather so you don't have to write a letter to PETA about the seats. Nice and soft, great stitching. On the X-Line trim, we do have manual controls for the passenger. I have full electric assist, and then like I said earlier, we got a panoramic sunroof that goes all the way back. You can let in the sun's rays. We could close it up all by the press of a button. Keep it coming, keep it coming. Whoop, there we go, nice and closed. But why don't you come over here, because guess what? I got more screen I want to show you behind the wheel of this new Sportage. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. Now, when you come in, there are no memory seat settings, so that's a little bit of a zonk, but you do have your power adjustments, very easy to get to, 8-way adjustable. I got plenty of room in this new Sportage. I'm 6 feet tall, even with the panoramic sunroof. Feels great. Steering wheel, Kia's doing a great job, not only with the leather, but the stitching and the style of the horn button. Very, very clean. Flat black on all the switch gear. It is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And as you'll see, you have a 10.25-inch digital display. You could scroll through a plethora of information in the center, which is nice. The one thing that this doesn't have are those great corner cameras when you turn on your turn signals. If you want those, you're gonna have to go up higher with the trim levels, but still nice to have full digital. Let's go ahead though. We got room up here. We got plenty of tech up here. Let's go in the back seat and see how good this new Sportage is compared to the competition. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, we're in the back seat, and this is really where the Sportage shows that, hey, things are different this time around for this generation. So much room back here. I'm telling you right now, this almost feels like a Santa Fe, like a Hyundai Santa Fe, and we all know the Santa Fe is a mid-size SUV, so I'm very, very impressed with the space. Now, the backs of the seats, you do have a little bit of plastic, but I know your kids love picking their nose, so it'll be easy to clean their boogers off the back. You do get some solid pockets, so if you want to keep some of your muscle and fitness magazines back here, maybe you got one of the old ones with Arnold on the cover, you could keep those back there to keep you motivated to go to the gym, because remember, probably the hardest thing about working out is getting to the gym. Once you're there, you could get down to business. Speaking of business, you actually have USB-Cs in the backs of the seats. Very, very smart that they do that, especially the little hook here to hang your wire or a merce or a purse. I got my own pocket here for my muscle magazines. You could put some protein Twinkies there. That's a new thing at GNC, are the protein Twinkies. At least 5 of them in there. And you may want to double up right before you do your workout, sort of like a pre-workout. Seats, just like up front, the design with the stitching, the texture, the softness, and then look at this. This is not reclined. That's reclined, and that's crazy. I'm almost laying down, so very nice that they bring that to the Sportage. Comfortable armrests, just not the softest. It almost feels like a petrified piece of wood. So think about what that feels like. That's what the armrest, but I do like the height. It's sort of like at a nice height where you could be very, very perfect with your posture. Flip it back, but why don't we go ahead, let's get that cargo area and see what the heck we could haul to the gym in this Sportage. All right, guys, it's time really to show off what the Kia engineers and designers was able to pull off. First of all, you got electric assist on that rear hatch. Look at the amount of cargo space. That's 40 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Class leading, nice low cargo floor. You lift it up, you got some storage for a couple boxes of Twinkies on your road trip, and you got a spare. And then guess what? If you're going to Costco or Sam's Club and you're gonna buy that big old box of Snickers bars, or maybe the world's largest container of protein powder mix, this will fit it. Watch, boom, pull the handles on both sides and the seats flip down. And what I'm gonna do, just to prove a point, is I'm actually gonna lock them into place. They lock into place, almost totally flat. I gotta get my level and actually test this when I get home, but it's just a tick above being perfectly level and flat. You do have a 12 volt in case you wanna hook up that blender. Maybe you're at the gym, you just get out of a good workout and you want that post-workout protein mix shake. You could hook a blender up to this bad boy, get that big old container of soy protein, whey protein, and go ahead and just get swole. But you know what? We're gonna get swole the Raiti's Rides way. We're gonna take our strong, muscular foot and stamp down on that throttle. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in our Kia Sportage. All right, guys, we're in this 2023 Kia Sportage X-Line, and let me just correct myself. These are actually two 12.3-inch screens, so you don't have to write a letter to Kia saying that I deserve a zonk. I dropped the ball, but I picked it back up and I ran for the touchdown. Instead of 10.25, they're 12.3-inch screens. Now, I do miss those great corner blind spot cameras, but you could get that on the Sportage. You just got to pay a little bit more. But I think for $33,500, having all-wheel drive and the two screens really shows the value Kia's bringing to the table, especially against the competition. Now, in the center there, you got your different modes. Right now we're in Sport, everything gets red. You got Smart, Snow, and then of course Normal. We're gonna keep it in Sport. Nice clear graphics, great visibility, and these seats are super comfy. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that there is a little bit of buzzy noise from that 2.5 liter inline four, but that usually is the way that it goes in these types of crossover SUVs with 4 cylinders. But seats are comfy, especially for the lower cushion with your hamstrings. It has a nice long cushion. Visibility out the mirrors is great. You're getting the Kia DriveWise technology, that safety technology, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, and everything else really good. And then, like I was saying, I think that nice open pore wood. Just watch out for the splinters. Maybe keep a pair of tweezers in the vehicle with you so you can get those splinters out, because they hurt sometimes when you get a big one. But having the extra room and just how smooth this new Sportage is, nice and quiet. So they definitely worked on sound deadening, and just really, really smooth. There's some ripped up pavement that we're going to be going over in a few moments here. You can see a little bit of bouncing, but it really just cancels everything out the way that they have the chassis engineered and the suspension at all 4 corners. But we're going to be going on throttle as soon as we go around this right-hand turn at this intersection here. But I think one of my favorite parts is just how easy it is to get to everything, especially that 12.3-inch infotainment system screen. And then having the different drive modes is really, really great. But let's test out the all-wheel drive on this turn. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Look at that. Kept it planted. No screeching tire or anything like that. Smooth shifts from the 8-speed automatic. And in the sport mode, it holds on to that gear. You'll notice when I go to normal, it just drops it down very nicely. But with the panoramic sunroof, with the great style and all of the nice finishes in here, the competition really has to be worried about this vehicle, because they are bringing a ton to the compact SUV class. But why don't we get out on the highway and see how this Sportage drives. On throttle, here we go. Telling you, that all-wheel drive is nice to have, because even in Florida, when it downpours and roads start to get flooded, you definitely want to have that all-wheel drive to keep you and your family safe. But having the 19-inch wheels, not too big, and you have plenty of sidewall there, that makes the drive super comfortable. And then, like I said, just all the finishes in here, it really is such a departure from the previous generation. But let me know what you think in the comment section about what the driving experience is in this X-Line trim of the Sportage. We're gonna get back to Loki Kia, wrap this one up. Of course, we're gonna be bringing you the other trims, like the top X Pro. We're gonna be doing SX, EX, and everything in between. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a great day here at Loki Kia in Clearwater, Florida. Definitely got to thank Robert, Danny, and the whole crew for getting us access to their very first 2022 Sportage. This particular one being the X-Line. Let me know what you think. Has Kia done enough to persuade people to go away from the Mazda CX-5, go away from the Toyota RAV4, and go with this all-new redesigned Sportage? Let me know in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. We got to give it up to the person that makes this all possible. Guns Lori, working that camera like a champ. She has actually licenses for those guns as she's holding that camera nice and strong. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.